Good morning and Assalamu alaikum. On behalf of Maktab, I would like to welcome you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, we have gathered here for a very important workshop. We at Maktab strongly believe that students should critically think about problems rather than rote learning. While memorization is an essential part of the learning process, we strongly believe that our students need to think about the problems before they get onto the algorithm. We understand that it is hard to implement this at a very junior level, since we know that our students are more interested in other things. They enjoy arts, music, and all of those things more than understanding math. However, we don't want to give up, and we want to try our best to make them think logically before jumping on to conclusions. For this reason, we've gathered here because we want your support in our mission, since it is very essential for our parents to be on board. So our teaching methodology is based on these three key principles. Firstly, avoid rote learning. Secondly, encourage exploration. And finally, help build abstractions. Our focus is not on making the students getting the right answers. Our focus is on the process through which they basically navigate through a problem. So the next question that would come to your mind is, why do we have these principles? The answer is very simple. Why not have these principles? We don't want our students to jump to answers and sort of learn the algorithm without even knowing what is happening. Okay, so let's start. This is a bit of a complex question for grade 2. Let's start with a very simple example. So when I ask the students what is 2 plus 3, the students are quick to answer, Miss, 5. But when I ask them why 5, why not 6, some of them say, you don't know the answer, this is the rule, which is again a misconception. Their answer is right, but the process through which they're basically deriving the answer, that is not right. So our main focus is, as a math department, is to make them realize the process. So let's further understand our method with an example. This example that is illustrated in the slide. So the question is 39 plus 13. So what will be a standard math approach? A standard math approach will be, you start from the right, you add 9 plus 3, you carry 1, get to the answer 52. Learn this algorithm and you're good to go. But this is not what we want our students to do. Obviously, at the end of the day, they would be doing this. But exploring and understanding the process is very important. So for all our topics, we have a very solid approach. Our approach is that we start with concrete, then we move on to pictorial, and then finally we move on to abstractions. Moreover, instead of telling the students that you have to start from right, we don't tell them. We want them to explore. When I solved this question in class and some students were quick to answer, we'll start from right. I asked them, why not left? Let's try it with left. They started with left and they got the same answer. So in that way they were able to clarify that this is not a rule that we right se hi start karna hai. But unless I don't give them this opportunity to think and explore this way, they will always think that this rule hai, humne aise hi karna hai, aise hi chalna. We can take this example. So 39 plus 13. So if we do it from right, we get 9 plus 3 is 12 and 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So we get 52. Now let's do it the other way. 3 plus 1, 9, 3. Now if we start from here, 3 plus 1 is 4 and 9 plus 3 is 12. So for 12, we'll have to write 2 here and then carry 1 here, and then again we'll have to make it 5. So this is a more longer process. This is more complicated. So for our convenience, we use this method. But this is not a rule. This is what we want to make our students realize that this rule nahi hai. This is for our own convenience. Yes. So these are the concerns. I know that as parents, you will have some concerns, and I would like to address them briefly before the question answer session. But before that, I would like to add that we are following the Singapore's curriculum, which is considered as one of the best math curriculums globally. I would also like to take this opportunity to share the achievements of our students who represented Maktab at various national and international math Olympiads and were able to secure positions. These include the Maths Olympiad that is held by the Park and the Canadian math competition that was held by University of Waterloo. These are some of the examples where our students performed well and secured positions. So this is an evidence that this methodology of thinking out of the box is not a waste of time. It will help students with the passage of time. So now coming back to the concerns. So firstly, one possible concern could be, why make mathematics so hard? Nobody else does this way. But we completely understand that this method of learning and understanding math is not easy. It is complex. It has a lot of layers. And a 6 to 7-year-old child might not understand it initially or get confused. But this is how they will learn to explore mathematics, because we don't want them to rote learn mathematics. And this is the unique method of teaching, is what makes Maktab different from any other school. Another question or concern could be, will my child get confused and be left behind? Yes, these questions might confuse them initially, but unless, as I mentioned earlier, that if they don't have confusions, they will not question. And unless they don't question, they will not develop that habit of critically thinking. So it is important to start this exercise from a very young age. As far as the second point is concerned, as a class, we are moving at a pace of an average student. So that will not be a problem if the child is paying attention in class and the child is regular. So how can I help my child? We would like you to cooperate with us and support us in our mission. The initial months will be difficult, and as a teacher, it is hard for me as well to engage them in such discussions. But I am sure that with time and with your support and our effort, they will start thinking about maths more critically.